thanks for joining us here at the Weather Channel. We had a pretty active day today on the East Coast. We had a lot of rain moving from West Virginia into Pennsylvania, and also some gusty winds in the northern plains, and we'll talk about that in a second. But let's look at some nasty weather in Pittsburgh today. Actually, the morning wasn't too bad, but by the afternoon, it was coming down by the afternoon. And you had moderate to heavy rainfall even throughout the evening. Fortunately, most of the rain should move on in time for the morning rush hour. We sure hope so. But we think that rain will move northward into New York. Maybe folks in Syracuse probably be getting some heavy rain tomorrow morning. Now what's happening is we finally had our system here in the southeast start to move towards the northeast because this trough is moving in. It's picking it up and moving it off towards the northeast. And our water vapor loop shows this very well. Here's the first circulation, the one that was over the southeast that dumped all that heavy rain in Georgia. And then we have this next one coming in. See this right here? That twist up there, and then this front coming through. So it's actually pushing this out. So that's why we had somewhat of a better day in the southeast, and we think tomorrow should even be better. We do have a front coming through though, and you know what, all the cloud cover, all the precipitation really kept the temperatures down. 60s. Look at this corridor. This is where the rain was today, and even on the coastal areas with the cloud cover it was somewhat cooler, and some areas were below average. You bet that was below average. But to the west, ahead of our front, we were above average. And look at the west. We even had some record highs. Oakland, record high today, above average because of the offshore winds. We had some easterly, northeasterly winds, and that's a downsloping wind, which is a warm wind for the coastal areas. All right, let's talk about that northeast again. That's where the action is tonight. Well, we are see this area right here? This is where we're seeing the heavy rain, and it is moving off towards the north. So Pittsburgh, it looks like conditions should start to improve for you here very shortly. But just off to the west, see this area right here? That is a front coming through. And we're seeing rain already in the Ohio Valley. And eventually that rain will be coming through. But it won't be as heavy as what you're seeing right now. So the Pennsy Turnpike, the Jersey Turnpike, I-95, the LIE, we're looking at rain tomorrow morning. So if you don't like to sit in rush hour traffic in the rain, you might want to leave a little bit earlier than normal, or maybe wait. See if you can flex those hours a little bit. Look at the heavy rains right here through West Virginia into western PA. And we've had some problems with flooding tonight in the central mountains of Pennsylvania, even around State College, Penn State University. We're looking at heavy rain. Some amounts up to 3 inches right here. So watch out for the flooding tonight, and some tips here for you. Do not walk or drive through floodwaters. Never drive over roadways that have ponding water on them because you don't know how deep that water is. And keep the children and pets away from the floodwaters. All right? So here's the front. We're finally going to move it eastward. We're trying to say goodbye to this low here, but before we do, watch out for the heavy rain now in Maine. Now with this front, we'll see showers developing. Upslope conditions for the Appalachians. We're going to see a few showers develop in the afternoon. We'll also see underneath our upper level system some instability and some scattered showers around Chicago, maybe even Detroit. Our next system coming in the Pacific Northwest will bring some light showers through the morning, probably increasing more towards the afternoon. But the heaviest rain will be here in the northeast. Again, be aware of the flooding possibilities. Know what to do. It'll be mild tonight with the cloud cover, not bad at all, but look how cool it is here in the west as our front comes through. Higher elevations, we're even looking at some 20s, very chilly. And afternoon highs, not too bad. Actually looking pretty average. 70s all the way to the Canadian border. 70s now in the Ohio Valley, and rebounding nicely here in the southeast after a very cool and dismal Sunday afternoon. Even 90s now returning to Florida. Dallas in the 90s here Monday. And with that rain, cooled air, we're going to keep the 60s for the northeast from New York to Boston, Chicago and Detroit. Only 60s for you, so you might want to make sure the kids have the umbrella and they have the jackets and, oh, maybe even the, oh, let's say boots here to keep from getting your shoes wet here in the Northeast from some of the heavy rain. Well, let's talk about that extended travel forecast. We have some specific cities.